Welcome to the Casual Nerdcast. I am your host, Justin. Joining us for this evening, Andrew.
Hello, Internet.
Emil.
I'm really cold. That's it. Just that.
Yeah, we're in Canada. That's a kind of a thing. And joining us for this evening is our one of our emergency correspondents, taking in for Evan, who is currently doing some important things right now. Uraz.
Important things.
We have no clue what important things. He just said we have important things. All right. So let's just jump right in and get things started. So we have Rudy Giuliani, who is... Oh, who? Okay, sorry. There we go. There's the misconception. He's the lawyer. My bad.
There you go.
The dictator is Manuel Noriega.
Manuel Noriega.
Noriega. Oh, look at you.
Manuel Noriega.
Look at
my
you.
girlfriend's Spanish? Question mark?
Look at you go. So, anyways, he is a dictator who committed a lot of crimes. He's thrown a lot in jail, tried a lot. He's basically, no one really likes him. He's basically a hard criminal, kind of getting caught and stuff. And then, basically, he was depicted in Call of Duty Black Ops 2 as a criminal. Ooh, shocker. And he wasn't very pleased about how his image was depicted in the video game and has asked to sue. Activision is basically saying this is absolutely absurd. Like, it's basically...
It's a what the fuck moment.
Yeah, exactly. It's just,
You
wow.
expect
Yeah, it's kind of like when Lindsay Lohan sued GTA 5.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember what happened to that one.
Yeah. Except she was like, this woman looks like me. But this guy's like, this guy is named me.
Yeah, no, I think that was I think that one was like she was she assumed that it was her,
Yeah.
but this one is actually him.
Yeah.
So
Literally the same name and everything.
yeah, literally the same thing. Dictator, probably a dictator in the same country as I didn't play through Black Ops 2. I couldn't get through it. But I'm not here to criticize Black Ops 2. What do you guys think about this lawsuit? Do you guys think that this dictator has any merit to say that he is being represented poorly?
I think the article wrapped it up. Sorry, not wrapped it up. Criticized it really well by saying if this were to pass, like if Manuel was to win this, like it's the lawsuit, right?
Yeah.
If he was to win the lawsuit, his efforts would give numerous historical and political figures and their heirs a veto right over their appearances. Meaning, any of, I don't know, Hitler's direct descendants, even though there aren't any, could all say, this is distasteful, this is distasteful, this is distasteful, and basically ban every World War II movie ever.
Yeah.
You can't do that. That's what free speech is about.
Yeah.
So I'm really hoping this doesn't go through. If the judge has half a brain, they'll probably not go through, but
Yeah.
you never know with these things, right?
Yeah, I think it's just interesting that if I didn't play through Call of Duty, so I'm not sure how poorly his image is necessarily put into place. But
Right.
I mean, like, if as long as they were within the domain of truth, that he was acting as a dictator, and whatever story they kind of created out of him remained within the domain of being a dictator, you know. So basically, let's say for instance he was a drug dealer and he dealt drugs. Like all of a sudden, like Black Ops 2 was like, oh, he also did sex trafficking and like was XYZ and all that kind of things. I think he has merit there, but I'm not 100% sure. Oh yes, ex-dictator. My apologies.
No, I was saying of Panama, not. You were mentioning what country? It's Panama.
Thank you.
But yeah, sorry, continue.
But yeah, I don't know. I feel like there in some cases where you could literally rip on a certain historical figure and treat it distastefully, and I can see the concern there on that side of the argument. But at the same time, this is a dictator who literally is a dictator, and he is a dictator inside the game. So I don't see any ground on this lawsuit.
I
Yeah,
personally don't
like,
either.
there's precedent that video games were protected as free speech back when Schwarzenegger and what was the guy? There's some dude. They were like trying to make like M-rated games so that they would have to use it sold like in the back, sort of like porn or something. Like that's what they were trying to compare it to. Back in 2011, I think the lawsuit happened, and like it was a huge deal because it was supposed to set precedents about whether video games are protected by free speech. And at the end of it, they're like, yeah, they should be. So I don't, yeah, like you guys, I don't see much this guy get. I imagine this gets thrown away. This
Well,
lawsuit.
Well, my 2 cents, maybe I'm on the other side of the fence here, is that if he went to a lawyer and brought this up, and the lawyer probably told him, you have a valid case because any public figure, or there are laws to protect quote unquote celebrities or public figures from websites and people making claims, negative claims about them or incorrect claims. I think it's like a defamation lawsuit or something
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
what it is.
So on those grounds, you can sue. Now it's debatable now whether he's a celebrity or he falls under that rule. However, I can see from where he's coming from. There's a game, a multi-billion-dollar game probably, that's making money off his name. Whether it's saying good things or bad things about him, he probably wants a cut, right?
Something
And
like that.
there's a lot of criminals in prison that sell their rights or book rights. They make money over what they've done, and some people have said that's wrong, and I think it's still allowed. I don't think it's illegal.
No, never heard anything about that.
Some criminals make money over what they've done, like their crimes, right? And he's here, not getting his money, so that you can see why he's like, I want my cut, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, he's gone to the lawyer, and assuming probably he's gone to the lawyer, and he's got a valid case, so maybe he'll get some money. Maybe Activision will give him a settlement saying, hey, we used your name, we made money off you, here's $5, I don't know, whatever they decide.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing, like, whenever something is successful, they always get sued by like hundreds of people,
Yeah.
and most of those cases get thrown out. Like I just read today, some woman was claiming, Frozen, the multi-billion-dollar
Oh, yeah.
movie thing.
Yeah, I read that,
Some
yeah.
woman is like, yeah, this is my biography. They stole it, the story from my biography.
See, the difference between that is that's really hard to prove because
But it's not about whether it's about like the basic premise is that whenever something gets really successful, like everyone starts. It happens with
in
like,
this specific case, they actually use this guy's real name and what he's done or claimed of what he did, and that's what they did. So now what most video games and most shows, what they do to protect themselves is saying any characters mentioned in this video or this game are purely fictional, and any coincidence is unintentional. Or they put some disclaimer at the start.
Yeah, I remember
I was just about to say that.
Ubisoft does that for Assassin's Creed, and they're like any, or even Splinter Cell, because they don't want to they don't want to predict the next terrorist attack to actually, yeah, it's like
South Park does it, and they blatantly overplay everyone and everything. They don't need to ask permission of those people. At least I don't believe they do, right?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like they're sort of protected under free speech. Like, because South Park is like a social commentary based on like satire and sort of exaggeration.
Yeah, South Park is an amazing example of people using free speech, and it's legal because they actually say in the beginning of the show, right?
Any works of this
time.
Yeah,
every single time. And but the thing about this specific case is that this guy went to a lawyer, and the lawyer probably thought he has a valid case and might be able to get some money out of it, so he probably took it on. So maybe they'll get it, but I don't know.
I think the bigger issue is I don't know if maybe his lawsuit will stick, only because he allegedly, like, here, let me just switch back to the article. He's basically claiming that the portrayal personally damaged him, and that it was a blatant misuse, unlawful exploitation, and misappropriation for economic gain. So
that's
it's
lawyer talk right there. His
right,
lawyer
but
said
it
so,
basically
say that.
means that like they damaged his image. But how low can you go if you're already a criminal
doesn't-
that everyone hates you though? It's like,
It doesn't really matter.
but I think
'cause
no,
that's
no,
a very
but
subjective thing. So
right,
it's that's lawyer terms. You know, they in order to
yeah,
have a valid case, they have to meet the criteria. So damaging your personal image, whether that's a subjective thing, but that's what they got to claim in order to get money. Whether it's true or not is a different scenario.
mm, I guess it's just like a broad thing, and then they're hoping to kind of build on that later on.
They could say he killed. Let's say he in reality he killed 1,000 people. I'm just making
Sure.
up numbers here.
Sure.
Video game, they said he killed 1,000,000 people. I don't know. I'm just making up numbers here. And he's like, "Oh my God, they made me seem so bad."
Or maybe it was the other way around. He actually killed 1,000,000 people, but the game said he killed 1,000. He's just like, why is the game underscoring me? Now my image is publicly damaged.
Yeah, that's the case. I'm guessing it's something like that. But
Yeah.
in any case, I'm guessing Activision might just say that, oh, we put that disclaimer, blah blah blah, argue it, it gets thrown out. If anything, they get the publicity. Maybe somebody will want to write a book about him. You never know.
It sounds like so Rudy Giuliani is, I believe, the New York mayor's law firm. Like
No, he's the former mayor of New York.
Yeah.
oh, he's the former mayor of New York.
He's literally the mayor, yeah.
Bloomberg's
Wow.
the new mayor, or was the latest one I remember.
Oh
Also,
yeah.
there was
Mayor
little,
during 9/11. Yeah.
If you saw the comments in the article, Justin,
I don't read comments. I'm afraid of
Oh.
like.
I was just scrolling down to see how much YouTube cancer there was. It was actually a decently stimulating discussion. Rudy Giuliani was the biggest enemy of the First Amendment as America's mayor, but now he's defending free speech, basically. And there's a link to something called firstamendmentcenter.org, where he chose order over free speech. I haven't read that story, but
Well, he was the mayor during 9/11, so it makes sense.
he was?
Yeah,
Oh,
he was.
oh, the article's from
He was the
2007.
mayor during September 11th, 2001. He was the mayor, and ever since then, like, I remember seeing him on TV claiming, oh yeah,
2001. Yeah.
yeah. So that's why he probably did that, because
No, that makes sense.
people wanted him to, whatever. But
No, absolutely makes sense. I'm just looking through this, but either way, it's just a remark more so than anything.
It sounds like Activision's got big guns, and they're gonna do whatever they can to bring this down.
they got big guns, and I'm sure they covered their asses. But
Of course.
what's settling? Maybe they might settle for a couple $100,000, which is peanuts in there.
Yeah.
If it is actually not thrown out, or they just want to settle out of
And
court.
what's he gonna do with that money in jail, really? He's in prison for life and beyond.
So, lesson of the day for you game developers out there: if you want to make a video game based on someone real, make sure it's 300-400 years in the past, and there are no relatives that can possibly possibly claim for.
Okay,
Just
everyone-
take I'll take a lot of notes from Assassin's Creed. They're doing
I
it
was just
well.
about to say that. Everyone just makes Assassin's Creed clones. Problem solved.
No, we need clones of good games. Not
Well, the
that.
first three were great.
I'm just.
Yeah, I like Black Flag.
I hate
I only
those
played
games.
up to Revelations, so
We've talked about that before.
yeah, we talked about it a lot actually. That's all good.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. This is actually something that I'm very interested in. I've only kind of briefly looked into it. I haven't really used Steam in a while because I've been busy playing Diablo and FIFA. So, neither of which are on my Steam account, unfortunately. Anyways, so basically, Steam has been revamped. There's a new discovery system set up. There's a lot of customization, and there's also a curation system. Basically, I remember a lot of people saying that the way Steam has been operated, it's not very well optimized in the sense that there's such a huge and vast library that it only kind of statically shows 10 games in the slideshow and then specials every so often. Like, it's not poorly, sorry, it is poorly presenting all the games that it has available. So now they've implemented this kind of discovery system where, based on the kind of games that you claim that you like, it'll try to recommend games for you. And I have mixed feelings about this. I don't know about you guys.
Well, how so, Justin?
Well, I personally don't trust an algorithm to recommend me games.
I'll agree
Well,
with you there.
The on the plus side, however, there seems to be a new option called Steam Curators. Basically, you can follow certain Steam users who recommend titles and review titles, that kind of thing, and you can follow what they say. So that kind of supplements that. So in light of this amazing news, I have made a Steam group for the Casual Nerdcast. Let me find the group for it. There
You
we
can just
go.
link it in the description. It's all good.
I can link it in the description. I will also slide it over to show it off and stuff. Yeah.
Sure.
This is literally, as I was preparing for this podcast, I was like, oh, this is great. I'm just going to create a group right now. So I believe it's the casual, it's like Steam community group, whatever usually it is. It's slash the casual nerdcast. I will post a link, I swear, somewhere in the description to basically, so you guys can see what we recommend, review, etc. But that won't stop us from making video reviews or written reviews. This will just basically help us kind of recommend smaller games that we think deserve to be highlighted, and games that we really want to highlight and recommend and criticize heavily. We'll be posting those on our website and also having video reviews and such. Anyways, back to the Steam update. What do you guys think so far? Have you guys tinkered with it at all? What do you guys think?
I've only really seen the storefront and the how it works. I really, really like the UI overhaul. The black was getting a little tiring.
Mhm.
And they kept things consistent, like where everything is still where you need it to be, but there's nice new animations. It's smooth. I haven't really had a chance to play with the curator or the filters, but from reading it, it looks promising. I'd say.
I'm just looking at my curators right now, and let's see what Steam's recommended me. Okay, you recommended the Hodor review. Hodor.
Right.
Hodor. Thanks for that.
Trolls everywhere.
So my opinion of the whole thing is from my perspective is I don't think I've ever gone to Steam to look for games to play. I have a freaking million of them in my backlog. So I've never actually gone to say, hey, I'm looking for a new game to play. What can you recommend me? No, never, ever have I personally done that. Whenever I'm
200 more.
Yeah, exactly. The only time I'm ever looking for games is when they're on sale. And that's the only time I care about whether they're good or not. I'll look at the price and say, hey, this is a cheap game. All right, how's the reviews? And that's the only time I ever look at it. And if the reviews are good, I'll consider buying it. If they're not, I won't. And that's the extent to which I'll ever use the homepage is for Steam sales, Steam sale days. That's it. So most of the time I just skip straight onto my library, and I have all my games here that I need to play, and that's all I use it for. So
my queue has really good things in it based on what I've played, but it's all stuff that's already on the front page. So I don't know how well this works yet.
So we have to give it some time. It's new, right, for all of us. Maybe we definitely need to give it a chance. But from my perspective, and I've had Steam for, like I said, 10 years.
Yep.
So I've seen it from like when it was its worst, and it's really good now. But for a long-time user like me, with all the games that I have, this update does nothing for me. It's just a UI update to me. It doesn't really.
You already know how it works. You already got everything you need.
I couldn't care less about the update. It doesn't do anything for me.
That's true,
the really good update was the big picture. That's the actually.
Oh god, yeah.
But everything after that, even this one, we'll see. We'll give it some time.
Yeah, I think it could be cool to find like those curators that you sort of resonate with. Like there are some that are like, we deal with JRPGs, and we're gonna find like the best JRPGs, and a lot of and it is the like all the websites that sort of posted about the update. They're like it's gotten really hard to sort of find non like super super high profile like indie games or AAA titles. Like the banner scroll is like that's where you want to be if you want to sell your game on Steam.
Pretty much.
Otherwise, it's kind of hard to have people know about it unless you like go viral on like some forum or something.
Or PewDiePie.
Right.
Yeah, or with if you're promoted by PewDiePie. So I think it would be cool if like certain people who don't really have the time to do like all the research on their own, sort of find like 3 or 4 curators that they trust. They're like, oh, like this game's sort of getting like decent reviews, like 6s or 7s, but like I've liked all the games that they have recommended, or I've gotten a leg on it. So I think there's potential in it.
I just started looking into my recommendations because Uraz pointed out something kind of funny about it, and
Hodor.
oh my god! So it's like scroll down to see your recommendations, and it's like action games due to your recent playtime in other action games. We recommend you the first original Counter-Strike 1.6.
Yeah. I got CS:GO from playing TTT.
Oh man, look,
fun.
FPS games that we recommend because you play other FPS games. The first Left 4 Dead, because that doesn't fulfill everything I need for Left 4 Dead 2. Call of Juarez, Gunslinger. Half-Life 1, which is awesome, but I am not going to pay $5 for that.
It was 87 cents at one point.
Fistful of Frags. I have no clue what that is, so I'm not going to trash talk that. Oh, since you wish for Blazing Angels, we recommend you War Thunder because they are so related. Huh? Which is great because I have Blazing Angels and now it's showing me all these flight sims.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't really find this update very appealing at all.
Other than the UI, which is pretty.
The UI is nicer. They always make the UI nicer.
Also, it seems that like the algorithm definitely needs work from what Justin is saying. My wish list shows, like things you might want: Endless Legend, War Machine, Age of Wonders, Divinity, all because you wish for Might and Magic Heroes 6. What? 4 games based on one wish list, which is on the bottom of my wish list.
I would never ever use this queue. I can tell you that much.
And then
because I was gonna say because I recently looked at Assassin's Creed Liberation, they recommended me the entire Assassin's Creed series.
Wait, looked at? What do you mean? You just clicked on the store title?
Yeah, it says since you recently viewed Assassin's Creed Liberation HD, we recommend you Assassin's Creed 2, and Assassin's Creed 1, and Assassin's Creed Revelations, and Assassin's Creed Brother. Like, no, really? I am shocked that I should be playing those games.
I got recommended Goat Simulator in The Sims 3 because I played Gary's mod.
Yes, I got that too. I'm
okay with that.
Hey, I got recommended Euro Truck Simulator too.
Yeah, I got that too. Damn it!
Wow. I don't think I've played any simulator games. What is going on?
I blame all of you guys for this. Since you recently played Secret of the Magic Crystals, we recommend you Riding Star. I blame all of you for this. Now I have horse riding games all over my Steam. This is what happens when you have an algorithm.
This is like this one time I looked up this one artist, singer from Quebec, and then for maybe the next 3-4 months, I got a lot of YouTube ads just in French. Like I listened to her the one song, and I just got all these French ads.
Wait, I got something for you. I looked for this is very similar to like how Amazon works actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. I searched for one wireless adapter. I'm not even signed in right now. D-Link Wireless N300, Netgear, TP-Link, D-Link. My entire screen is filled with nothing but those. So maybe they're just following a similar algorithm. That's kind of how big business seems to do it.
Similar? I want to say they took that algorithm.
Well,
not just that. I think they're using some sort of algorithm that would be more geared towards sales of products than games. Because, when you buy a product, like if you buy, I don't know, a microwave or something, I don't know.
Sure.
Something related to a microwave that's useful, maybe maybe a dish, whatever, microwave safe dishes.
Right. You are right
Maybe
about
like
that.
interesting, yeah. In the case of games, it's really hard to do that. Just because I played an FPS doesn't mean that you know what else I'd like based on that FPS. It just
No,
doesn't make any
you're
sense.
absolutely correct. There's no accessories for games.
No.
There's only related games and similar games. That's about it.
It's
And
like
games
it's like
are rarely, you know.
it's like oh, we saw
Yeah.
you play Call of Duty. We recommend you Battlefield.
Yeah, oh my
Ooh,
God.
so much.
Oh,
Don't do that.
Flame wars
they
everywhere.
have Battlefield. Well, they have the old ones, but
Oh, I see you play League of Legends. Try some Dota too. Ooh, just
Ooh.
flame wars back and forth constantly. Ugh. Algorithms cannot be used to recommend games to people. It's just not the same. It's a very unique art form that, like, even though two games are very similar, it's still not exactly a toe-to-toe comparison as to something that should be kind of recommended. On the other hand, though, I will give credit to Steam for setting up this Steam curator kind of thing. So basically, that's a much more human element to this recommending thing. I feel like they already kind of predicted that not many people would use the algorithm, but they wanted to see, like, there's gonna be some people that'll be like, you know, who probably have like 5 things on their Steam list, or Steam games list. Or library. There's the word I'm looking for. Library. Those guys might be looking like those people who are probably like not as informed about gaming.
True.
Will probably be like, yeah, I could just lead to, you know, the next game, etc. But those who those who kind of know about the gaming industry a bit more, or like know about, you know, what to expect about the games that are coming out these days, they probably have their own ideas, or they're following some kind of, I guess you can call pioneers. What's a good word for people who are just extremely well informed or no, not extremely well informed. Sorry, they're just courageous in buying the games first all the time.
Oh, well, I guess pioneers in that sense.
I guess they're pioneers.
They're beta testing.
pioneers, reviewers, streamers.
Any of those people, yeah, those people can benefit from the Steam update because that's, and hopefully, you know, we could too.
It's like, yeah, maybe.
I consider, and I consider myself, like I said, one of those gamers that plays previous year's games. I don't mind waiting. I don't need any game on release date.
Right.
I don't see the use.
Day one.
Like I really wanted to play Stick of Truth, South Park. I did not want to pay $60. It's been on sale for $20 now, and I've been pretty close to buying it. So, you know, I wait for games, so I don't see the point.
I think the only thing I'm possibly gonna buy full price is gonna be GTA 5, and even then I'm not gonna pre-order it. I'm gonna wait for it to come out, see how it is.
GTA 4 was the only one I paid full price for. Also, GTA 4.
I think I did that. I can't quite remember, but like they're few and far in between. So I agree with you.
I very rarely pay full price for anything.
Right. Yeah, we had this conversation.
Yeah, I'll make a video about my tactics and my.
You mean looking at Steam for sales?
But to be quite honest, no, that's a lot more elaborate than that.
I know,
but I must admit though, Uraz is the master.
Hey man, it's Reddit. Our game deal's done.
Same.
That's about it.
There's yeah. Most yeah.
And that's the other, you know, whenever there's a Steam sale or any sale for Steam, where's the first place I go to? Our Reddit, our Steam or game deals, for information in that thread on what are the good deals, what are the good games, what is worth picking up. And I don't even use the Steam UI browser for any information about that. And then I make my decision outside of Steam, because I don't find Steam useful at all for that kind of information.
Yeah, I remember seeing what was it? Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. Okay. Let me find. Oh my! Why is this Day Zero early access thing? Oh, they changed all the tags. Oh no. Oh, I posted a photo back about 4 or 5 months ago, saying it was like there were some popular user defined tags, and it was saying how like it was like kawaii and like easy mode and all that kind of stuff. I gotta find that photo again. But basically, I feel like that's basically what's going to happen when you give power to the user to recommend things. you know, that you'll get some pretty angry publishers.
Right. So I mean, you can't really do much with that. Just take it or keep it.
Yeah.
So I don't foresee myself using the recommended games. As we can see, they're already pretty useless. Maybe it might get better over time. Maybe it won't. I don't know. But I'll still be using the outside methods to find out whether I want to buy a game or not.
I think this interface will be very interesting to see during the Steam sale.
Mhm.
And to
True.
see how this evolves, because they have always revamped the Steam the front page for the Steam sale.
Yeah,
So
I
seeing
agree.
this in coalition with the Steam sale, I think it'd be very interesting to see how they're going to morph the entire page into something that's accommodating and allows you to maximize the amount of games that you can buy that are good deals.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to see it. When's the next one? Christmas?
There's
no,
usually
fall.
a quick Halloween
An autumn,
sale,
a fall one.
Fall,
The
yeah.
one's oh yeah, the fall one.
They have
okay.
they have like 4 every year now at this point.
Prepare your wallets.
Ugh, thank
We
God I have a job.
already own everything we want, and stuff doesn't come out till after
No.
October.
No.
Just about.
Actually, Steam has now no longer been taking my money. It's been Future Shop and Best Buy that have been taking all my money
What?
because I've pre-ordered all the games for like day
Oh,
one.
true. With the cheap versions of yeah.
It's not cheap versions. What are you talking about?
Cheaper versions because you bought 3 of them, so you got $20 off each game. Cheaper
It's
versions.
a cheaper version. It just means I got them on sale, man. They're not
Nah,
they're
I'm
not any
tired.
different.
No, it's literally the same thing. I'm tired. You know what I meant.
Got some good deals there, yeah. 'Cause,
Yeah.
I pre-ordered, the Sunset Overdrive bundle.
Sweet.
It's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
Nice.
Alright.
But
Okay.
yeah,
let's,
I got what you meant, Justin.
yeah. All right, let's move on to our third topic of this evening. Dun dun dun. Blizzard cancels Titan, the alleged top secret MMORPG that was supposed to overtake
Everything.
WoW. Of course, they planned WoW, but in theory, it should have overtaken anything. Did you guys hear anything about this? And like,
Not up until it got canceled.
Yeah, same here. And I'm a huge MMO person because when World of Warcraft was announced, I was around, which is about 2001 when it was just announced that they were going to have this MMO, and they released it 3 years later. So I was waiting for that game, and it was hyped so much, and it met the hype. But apparently, the Titan was announced, or rumor started about 7 years ago.
that is correct.
Yeah, it was never announced. It was like sort
Yeah.
of leaked.
Rumored,
Like
yeah.
people found out about it, and it was at that point it was like kind of an open.
And then I
secret.
think
It never released any official details about it though.
until like maybe a year or two ago when they actually official announced it, correct?
No, to
Something from
the best of my
Microsoft.
knowledge, they never technically announced. Wait, did they mention it at
They
BlizzardCon?
did.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think they mentioned at BlizzardCon the actual name of the game, Titan. That was officially announced.
Yeah.
And they said that it was going to be a sci-fi game or something like that. So I mean, you know, it's interesting that they canceled it, and I was reading up on this that they canceled it because they didn't feel that it was a good game. The developers didn't feel that it was a good game, and it didn't meet their expectations, which, you know, kind of makes sense. But you know, in the other sense, they also mentioned that games like Hearthstone kind of also impacted whether Titan was going to go through, because a game like Hearthstone, so simple, so popular. You know, a game like Titan, very complicated, very difficult to implement, and might not be as popular. You know, there's a lot of MMOs out there. There's a lot of competition, and it's really hard to get people into an
Right.
MMO
Yeah,
just because of that very reason. So you're gonna have to be extremely different or very innovative to actually get any market share. So it makes sense that they would cancel it.
And I give them props for that, like realizing that they may have failed and actually saying, "Hey, it's okay. We wasted a lot of money on this, but this is us saying it's all right." rather than
Yeah.
continue it, give it a half-baked product, and then fire all the developers and shut down servers half a year later, like so many games do.
Yeah, exactly. And what were they expecting, like, to take their WoW subscribers over? You know,
That's-
people are not gonna leave.
It's not going to happen, yeah.
Yeah, you know, they're on
Most
WoW.
likely would have been a completely different universe too. From the sounds of it, sounds like StarCraft
yeah,
universe,
For
probably,
sure, it would be completely not.
or
yeah,
a new IP
maybe-
altogether. Actually, yeah.
They just said sci-fi genre. I don't think they
True,
specified.
true.
No,
Any details,
World of
but-
StarCraft.
Oh my god.
Code name. That's Titan's just a code name for that.
But
But
I-
like, yeah, I get you.
I think, in my opinion, the MMO genre is kind of at its peak right now, or it peaked already, if not. Like, an MMO right now is so watered down from what it used to be and what people enjoyed about it.
Absolutely.
And I mean, there are a lot of people who still play it and enjoy it, but I don't think it's as popular now. We see the rise of the MOBAs, the Hearthstones, the League of Legends,
Yeah.
you know, surpassing MMOs. I think I don't have the actual numbers here, so maybe it's not true. But I have the feeling, my own personal feeling, that MOBAs and Hearthstone. I don't know what Hearthstone would be considered.
No,
Trading card game, whatever.
it
was-
would, yeah.
Yeah,
but-
it's just a simple, fun game.
But I would argue that it's not necessarily MMOs that are like peak. It's like the traditional kind of MMOs that you would assume nowadays. The ones that are just kind of point and click kind of thing. Those are kind of faded a bit. But I wouldn't say MMOs as a whole has faded. I mean, if you think about it, Destiny, The Division.
Destiny is not an MMO.
That's just Borderlands.
I don't know. Andrew, I'm glad you're
I
here.
played a
Oh,
lot
no.
of Destiny. I wouldn't call it an MMO, but when I
No.
think about like sort of a model of a game that it needs to follow, I use the MMO model. Like I
It's
talk about
close.
it as like end game content. I think about
Yeah.
in where it fails. I think of it like an MMO, but I wouldn't call it an MMO to be exactly.
It does not have that MMO feeling where you feel like you're in a large world with lots of people and a lot of things that can happen. It's like you have the guild war, the instances, where you have a couple people with you, but I wouldn't say massive. You don't have that massive
How-
multiplayer feeling.
How have you encountered any big events like the ones that they say that everyone kind of gets dragged into
Yeah,
it?
yeah, we get into that.
World
It's
events?
to be honest, it's not even like the events don't feel big enough. It's more like it's not a cohesive whole, like an MMO sort of like I guess like if I was just to talk about it quickly, like this is sort of gated more like Diablo is, where you're sort of just loot gated, while in an MMO you're loot gated, but like there's so many other systems that are in play as well. Like there's like 14 different kinds of craft. Like the big MMO I'm into is Final Fantasy 14, and there's like 19 different kinds of crafting. There's like all these other different things
That's
that
an
you can do.
MMO, yep.
While in Destiny, all you do is shoot things. So
right.
Okay.
while the model is the same in terms of how game content works, like
The game style
the
itself.
feeling isn't there.
Yeah.
It's sort of like Call of Duty and Battlefield are first-person shooters, but they feel completely different.
So what you're saying is MMOFPS.
No. Just
It's
take
not
out
even
the
an
first
MMO.
M.
I
It's
think
not-
the shared world experience is a good like the sort of tagline that Bungie has been using is pretty apt.
because you can't say massive. It's not massive. It's
Fair enough.
It's
like
it
what?
doesn't have that scale. It's
Yeah.
shared. You have a bunch of people, and
Yeah.
the one different thing that Destiny's doing, and obviously I haven't played it yet, but I watch a lot of people streaming it. Is the end game content. That's the part that really, really interested me. Where
Right.
they're kind of going towards the MMO style of raiding, like bosses and multiple people, and it requires a coordination, strategy.
Rather than
and
just
the loot's
grind.
really good, and it's rather than just grind, right? So that part, it's kind of like a mini MMO part.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call the whole game an MMO for sure.
Here, Justin, if you want an example of an MMO FPS, possibly the only example that exists would be PlanetSide 2. 2,000 player servers and
Yeah.
massive battles and strategy and stuff. It's fully online.
Yeah,
It's a
that's
questing system, right?
That's
kind of the
Yeah,
closest
and
we get.
it's live persistent world. It doesn't
Exactly.
have the complicated crafting like Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah, but
So,
right.
but yeah, I would consider PlanetSide 2 an MMO FPS for sure.
Well, that's literally
Yeah,
what
that
it's
makes
in,
sense,
what
yeah.
the genre style, because it's not meant to be an RPG. It's meant to be
But
massive
I
multiplayer,
would-
2,000 people, and a shooter.
Destiny's
it's-
not even close to
No,
that.
not at
It's
all.
the, okay, that makes sense then.
Yeah, that's the comparison I wanted to give.
Yeah, so Destiny's more like Diablo kind of. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Destiny's
Better off
more
saying
like
Borderlands.
Guild Wars style.
Oh,
Guild
Well,
Wars, like you go to your own instances and your
Oh,
quests are geared towards you, like that kind of thing. Where
Right.
it's not like. Did anyone play the first Guild Wars?
I'm playing the second one right now, so.
I haven't played a lot of it.
Yeah, well, the first Guild Wars, there wasn't a persistent world. Only the towns were persistent. You would zone into a town, and you would have everyone sitting there doing whatever trading. But as soon as you left the town, the outside world was your own instance, and you could join with friends. So that's kind of the vibe that I get from how Destiny is. But we're going on a huge tangent here from what we were talking about earlier.
Well, I mean, it's still, yeah, I know, but I mean, there's not much to say about the Titan game except that it's apparently it was very similar to 2012's The Secret World, which now I regret not looking into because I
Yeah, I
would have
heard
liked to
good
look
things.
in.
But I'm really curious what is in the works from Blizzard because, like I said, World of Warcraft was announced in 2001 and 3 years later it was released. I'm curious what is in the works because it's been a long time since Blizzard has done another I'm sure they're working on something.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd be excited to find out.
I really hope it's Warcraft 4. I'm gonna say it right now.
That's what everyone's been
They
saying
need-
actually about this.
They
I-
need to do
I-
that.
I-
Oh my god.
They need to. I'm gonna make a rant soon about Blizzard regarding this because I'll save it for the video.
Yeah.
But anyways, Blizzard better do it. But yeah, Titan seemed like it was kind of all over the place. I think the issue being was as it was kind of developed, it has to kind of take over the Titan MMO the Titan MMO. Let's just use different words here. This is getting confusing. The successful MMO World of Warcraft. They basically had to start with that kind of a formula, but find a way to make it even more fun. In addition to existing, because it's kind of like a sci-fi shooter, right? Sci-fi MMO. So there's definitely going to be uncanny resemblances to like other things that already exist. One thing that definitely comes to mind is Eve.
For sure.
Yeah, Eve is probably something that they were probably thinking about alongside doing this. Probably some degree of what appears to be the Secret World. Well, that didn't come till like 2 years ago, so I mean that doesn't really count. But yeah, it's just Destiny was probably creeping around too, to kind of noticing. I think it just seems like it was probably more so the fact that they had so much pressure put on this project that they just couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
They were probably like in development. They saw that they probably did user testing. They probably did all that gathering analytics and found that people just found the game boring. It happens, with MMOs.
And I wonder.
People just end up grinding for levels, and they're like, "Oh, I've already done this in every other MMO I've ever played. What's so different, right?" Like,
Yeah.
okay, it's a sci-fi theme. Okay, whatever.
And I'm pretty sure they also took a lot of notes from probably Star Wars: The Old Republic, seeing how like
Yeah,
they
that was
originally
a
on
mess.
because seeing as how it was kind of like a what's the word again? Pay to play. There we go. Pay to play.
Pay to play, yeah. It
Like,
was pay to play when it launched, and then they had to go to free to play to keep it alive because
Yeah.
it lost so
Right.
many subscribers.
Oh,
So
I wish
that's
Evan
the
was
other
here.
thing Blizzard probably factored in was they're developing a monthly subscription MMO, but they're probably not going to make money on that. They're going to have to go with the Guild Wars 2 model, the pay to not pay to win.
I keep that's exactly what it keeps because it's been a while since I've said pay to play.
Yeah.
I've said pay to win.
enough.
I've been criticizing pay to win more so than I've been criticizing play to play. So it's like,
Yeah.
there's a big balance there that that needs to be maintained, and I
Yeah.
think Hearthstone is an amazing example of okay, it's obviously not an MMO, but it's a pay to play pay. It's
Pay to
not even
play,
pay to
not.
play. You can play without paying.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
free to
yeah.
play. That's a
I
free
think
to
you
play
meant
game.
the other way around. Yeah, it's free to play, but not pay to win. But there's still
Exactly.
microtransactions. Same with Dota 2, man.
Microtransactions, yeah, exactly. So they got to get that balance right, where people don't feel like it's a pay to win. And if they can do that, which they've done with Hearthstone, um, and they release content for Hearthstone, and Hearthstone's fun, people are playing it, people are talking about it. It's going to be, they're also considering mobile development. This is a game that can be easily run on mobile
It's already
platforms.
on iPads and stuff.
Oh, it's already on there. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So there you go. It's going to be a huge market for Blizzard. So why spend millions and millions of dollars on an MMO that might fail when you can spend probably fractions of the amount on a static, card playing game or a simpler game or a different type of game where there's microtransactions and you can make more money, and it's probably going to be a bigger hit than or less chance of it flopping like an MMO would.
And I think
So
and I think what's interesting is also the fact that in comparison to, if you look at the WoW numbers, the user base has gone down since it's like its peak, obviously.
It went from like 19 mil to I think 11 now. Or
Yeah.
No, isn't it like 12 to 7?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, so they've more or less, like, if what you're saying is true, that they've more or less lost half their user base. So I think they might even be shifting away from WoW. That might be also a kind of like a foreshadowing of that's to come. Maybe they're kind of looking at it now and saying MMOs aren't really the market to go to anymore. It just seems
exactly.
I think they might be slowly kind of shifting away and trying to find a new model. And it just seems like nowadays it just seems like casual, like like you said, Hearthstone. I don't doubt it for 1 second that Hearthstone is probably another playing. There are a lot of factors in this game that canceled, and it just makes more and more sense the more we talk about it.
Yeah.
It's those games that can reach the largest audience is the best market, which is the mobile market. It's just people playing on the phones, playing at home on non-gaming rigs, and simpler games than MMOs, I would say, because the reason why I think, in my opinion, why MMOs were such a huge hit was that it was totally different when they started, maybe 10 years ago when they really, really kicked in MMOs. They were brand new concepts. It was really fun. It was different, and now it's just, we've done that. We're bored of it. What else do you got?
Yeah. So now that's why we have the shared role experience. It seems like more so, people seem to be uniting friends, seem to be making games more easier, kind of stuff. So it'll be interesting to see how things will evolve and how WoW will progress from here. Because they're still releasing expansions for it, so it's interesting to see like how long they're going to keep WoW alive for until
try
they
and increase their number of expansions for it as well.
Yeah.
They want to hit one a year.
So many expansions, yeah, and I should mention I quit WoW maybe probably in like 4 years now.
You're clean.
4 years sober.
Congratulations.
Yeah, and I mean it's not a big challenge because for me when I played the MMOs I loved the challenge. I loved that it was new. I loved that it was different. And then it started going downhill. It started getting boring for me because everything was just a repetition. There's more content, but essentially it was the same thing. It was nothing new or different.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Now I hear people talking about how when Warlords of Draenor comes out for World of Warcraft, they're going to sub back on, and it'll be the greatest thing ever.
That's what they say every single expansion.
I was just about to say, like Mist of Pandaria came out. That's the last one, right? Before this, and everyone went ape shit, and then I didn't hear shit about it the week after it launched because it simmered down. And most people probably unsubbed after the first couple months because whatever, more content.
Without a doubt, Blizzard is going to be taking note of this, and they're probably going to
Oh yeah, for sure. So we'll see.
They'll say the users spike and then all of a sudden just drop.
Yep. That's what you have probability and risk mitigation experts for on a top tier company like that.
Basically.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, I
So
think that covers it pretty well, right?
yeah.
For that topic.
Yeah. So let's move on to our last topic here. Kind of depressing note. Well, also funny note. I want to say that the guy who telling the story was also very good at telling the story.
For
So and like he really related as like a, I guess you can call a kind of like a regular gamer kind of thing, where he would basically do anything he did was what's anything that I would have done, except I come with a relatively better Linux background, I guess you can call it. But anyways, the topic, the Steambox is not what the tester thought it would be, and he goes to kind of explain that he enjoyed playing it for like the first whatever odd months that he did play it with. He tried his best to use the controller. He tried his best to love it, but it just wasn't happening. He just couldn't do it. He wasn't loving it, and then he decided later on that basically to try something like else. Like, so he wanted to do like a video comparison between the Steambox and his PC version, only to discover that because it's Linux, there's no any video capturing software that he could use easily, or if at all existing, because it is Linux and he doesn't have the knowledge to do so. And then he just gradually found out that he just started there's no incentive for him to play in the living room, so he kind of stayed in his room. And then later on, he found out that you could basically swap the hard drive or install in Windows on it.
Yeah.
So now it's just a desktop machine that he's using. Very depressing because, partially we kind of briefly talked about this on the podcast. I don't remember how many episodes ago, but anyways, we've briefly mentioned this before. Basically, having the desktop experience in the living room. Are any of you guys surprised? Did you guys watch the video? What do you guys think about what he said?
I thought it was very, very entertaining, and unfortunately, very, very true.
Yeah.
I think I stole your words, Andrew, because you were the one who told me that. So I'll let you describe it.
Well, no, but I think he summarized it perfectly when he said in the video, like, what's the advantage? Like, why would I want to play on this Linux OS, Steam OS thing when I have all these options and more options on a Windows platform? Like, and to me that was the question that everyone was asking when Valve was like, we're making a Steam box. Everyone was like, after everyone was like so hyped about it because we love Valve, but then everyone was like, wait a second, this sounds like it's just running Linux, and it seems like it is.
Mm-hmm.
They took off the innovative controllers. They have now it's just like a regular controller with like a D-pad and analog sticks. So it is interesting to see how a company that is known for being kind of innovative or trying new things tried a new thing, and now it's sort of gone back, and I don't know what that means for us.
I think you know what? I think the guy who was reviewing it, obviously it sounded like he's a big gamer, and like you mentioned, he asked the question, what is the advantage for him? But I think the Steambox is not targeted towards him. What it's targeted, like I said, it's to people who don't have gaming machines and want to play all the games that Steam has, and that are not on Xbox, that are not on PS4, So just like I can probably draw a parallel to what Blizzard is doing, they're trying to go after as much market share as they can. Targeting the quote-unquote casuals, I would say, because it's a bigger market share means at the end of the day more money in their pocket, and that's what all that matters. It's not about the gamers; it's about the money, and the more people they can target, the better.
Yeah, but if let's say you are someone because I think that the only kind of market that will buy a Steam box is the super hardcore.
No,
I
disagree.
If you're just a regular casual person, and you're like, oh yeah, I like video games, I'm trying to find a way to play them. It's a lot easier, I think, to download Steam than easier sell. Like, oh, download this free software off the internet on your computer, which you
But
understand.
you gotta have the gaming machine. You gotta have that rig to support those games, and then
But then if you want that rig, like how much is a Steambox gonna cost? Or at the very
it's gonna
easier,
be competitive to what the price of an Xbox or a PS4 is. I would hope, if they want to stay competitive, and if not cheaper.
and
Because I
at that
think
point, it would be easier for them to buy a PlayStation or an Xbox.
exactly, and which is why I think they would probably be going towards playing those games that wouldn't be available on those consoles, and having all the Steam features and all that stuff, and sharing libraries and all that
Yeah,
jazz.
but I think the issue isn't necessarily they I don't think they were trying to target the casual market actually in this case.
Yeah.
I think they were actually trying to target us. They were trying to drag us into the
No,
living room.
I don't think so.
No, the reason. Well, here's some pretty basic reasoning. First off, in-home streaming is screaming example of that. They basically wanted you to stream anything that your powerful desktop already exists on into your living room, which why would I do that if I have a nice desktop setup like all here and stuff? They want you to kind of integrate into the living room. The second reason I say that is also because it is like Steam big picture, right? The advantage is that you have a huge Steam library. Now you can play that in the living room. But if you're a casual, you wouldn't have that big Steam library, right? It's more so like, yes, the Steambox can cater to casuals. You are opening that market for them so they can monopolize on the Steam sales. But the points they were highlighting, though, they weren't highlighting towards the casuals, though. They were highlighting to actual gamers, and they want to drag them into the living room for whatever reason. And
Yeah.
I
More casual gamers don't want, to me, from in my experience, most casual gamers don't want to play like Frozen Synapse or Rogue Legacy. Like, they don't really care about that Steam library. They want to play Call of Duty, they want to play Madden, they want to play FIFA, and so to me it doesn't feel like. And we talked about how a couple
I
of
don't know
episodes
about that.
ago that the PC market is like huge in terms of hardware, just because hardcore gamers are willing to spend more money on like the expensive monitors or the things. So I think Valve was trying to aim for like hardcore people, not necessarily.
Well, then going back to the video that this guy made, I mean, obviously they've pretty much failed miserably because this guy is a hardcore gamer,
Yeah.
exact person that they're targeting, and obviously he was upset about it or bummed out about it, and based on that, I disagree with your point that it is actually targeted towards casual, and even if they don't say that, I think that's their end game because, like I said, it's all about money. The more people that have access to Steam, the more people that'll buy the games on Steam, the more money they'll make. So maybe they're saying all these features for us so we're all on board because who's going to spread the word? The guys who have Steam.
That's
Whenever
true.
I ask anyone at work, hey, what is Steam? When I mention it, people at work, they don't even know. And the only way I can compare it is like the iTunes for video games, right? So it's like a word of mouth thing. And
I'm gonna write that down.
Man, you work with old people. Everyone at my workplace knows what Steam is.
Yeah, exactly. There's old people here. So what I'm trying to say is that even though it doesn't appear that they're targeting towards casual gamers, that's the end game. That's Blizzard's end game. That's Steam's end game. That's where the money is. So
Valve-
that's where they'll go.
Valve wants us to talk to the casuals. We are their marketing team.
We are Valve's ambassadors.
We are the casual Nerdcast.
If they think about it this way, if they said, "Hey, we're making Steam to be available to casuals," and we'll feel like we're ignored, and maybe there'll be backlash from the community. If they're saying they're doing it for us, and all these features are cool, making us happy about it, but their end game is money. That's the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like Justin said, none of these features sounds like they're useful to someone who's just like, I just want to play some video games. Like my friends barely understand how a wireless router works. How are they going to figure out how to stream things from their boxes to their TVs?
They're not.
No,
They're not. That's not what they're gonna do. They're gonna buy. They're gonna see. Oh, hey, there's a new video game console called the Steambox. What is this? I'm guessing they're gonna probably make it less, probably about the Wii U price point, maybe even cheaper because they can get money off people buying games on their store. I don't know. Maybe not. But I think this is just my opinion, and obviously I could be completely wrong, but it seems like it to me that it would have to compete with those games. Otherwise, what's the point of releasing a Steambox? I mean,
And I think that's what everyone was like. What's the point of this?
what's the point?
And that's what this guy
You
was
know, if
talking
you think about it, what is the point? That's obvious. That's the only explanation is they're not going to make money off the people who have gaming rigs, the people who have these Steam libraries. You know, they're probably not going to buy the Steambox because, like the guy said, what's the advantage?
True.
And the only person who would buy that is a person who's going shopping and sees, I can buy a Wii U, I can buy a PS4, I can buy an Xbox, or I can buy this new Steambox, which is cheaper than a PS3 and a PS4 and an Xbox, and it plays all these amazing games, which are all whatever.
They're all digital.
They're all digital or whatever, or we have a huge. They have the advantage of saying they have the biggest games library or whatever
But
online.
they technically do, yeah.
Something
Steam-
like that, where you can.
Yeah, Steam needs to make like a commercial, like a TV spot on the Steambox, and then done. You're done.
Oh.
If they want to be competitive, if they want Steambox to make money, they're gonna have to target casuals. Even though they won't explicitly admit that, that's what they're gonna have to do.
Well,
At the same time, it needs to come closer to launch first before they can actually talk about it.
on the
Exactly.
on the plus side, however, there are two things that the Steambox. Well, two things I want to point out that will definitely help the Steam machine. Number one, the new 980 line. Yes, Nvidia. I've been watching carefully, and I'm kind of mad at you, but it's okay. If you send me a free one, it's okay. Send me another 70 Ti, and I'll be okay with it. Anyways, the 980 line is more efficient, costs less, so this will definitely bring down the cost of the Steam machine because they have fucking Titans in there. Like,
And
why do I need a
that-
$1,000 GPU in my Steam machine?
Think
It
about
makes
the commercial where they compare PS4 Xbox to a Steambox and they show how much better it is. Do you think
Yeah.
that is a huge advantage for a person who's about to purchase a PS4 Xbox and they see an actual next gen console? If they saw that how much better it looked, maybe they would consider that over the other ones. I don't know.
the other thing I'm also interested in. I know I was kind of bashing in-home streaming a bit, but let's be honest here. I want to try it out. But see, the thing is, I think it'd be really interesting if the if Valve released something like a Raspberry Pi or some sort of like little stream box that was just SteamOS and you just had to plug it in, just something like $50 to $100, like tops. Like it's just basically all it literally does is pull. It's like probably the best Wi-Fi receiver, but best like internet network connection ever. Plug it into your TV and it just streams all your games.
Right.
You mean Chromecast kind of thing?
Basically, yeah, Chromecast kind of thing, except for like, you know, Steam specifically.
Steamcast.
Yeah, Steamcast. Valve, come on. Watch your podcast. We're throwing money in your direction practically.
We do this pretty much every other podcast. Hey, free ideas, everyone.
Yeah, we got one good idea. At least I like the every other podcast.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that Valve is looking into bringing down the cost of the Steam machine. I think that's definitely priority number one.
That should be priority number 1 or 2, yeah.
And it technically it's such a high priority. That's probably priority -1 because nothing is like more important currently right now than to bring it down. And it'll be interesting to see if Intel were. I don't remember how expensive the Intel CPU, the new ones that are coming out are.
The
But-
5X series?
Yeah, the
always
6
the same.
core.
They're always the same price. The i7's 300, the i5's 200, the i3's 100. Always.
No, he's talking. I think he's talking about like the because
You mean
there's also
Broadwell?
this is Valve Steambox, but like 19 other companies are making their own. Steam
Oh, I
boxes.
misunderstood. I thought you meant the processors themselves.
No.
My bad.
So yeah,
Yes.
it'll be interesting to see, like, you know, trying to, you know, see how this evolves from that. Like, I think there's a lot of new technology nowadays in existence, and
Mhm.
who knows, maybe they'll bundle it with like an Oculus Rift or something. I'd buy that.
Well,
There you go, Oculus Rift. That's another selling point that they might be able
I was
to.
going to say they can't. Then I remembered Oculus Rift is not the same thing as the Kinect. Oculus Rift is not owned by Microsoft.
No, it's a,
Maybe
It was owned by Facebook.
so
Yeah.
they'll be able to.
so Valve, go make a phone call, and then you'll be swimming in cash.
Call Zuckerberg.
Call Zuckerberg, yeah.
Can
Maybe.
you do that again, Justin? That hand motion. that looks so wrong. You're like, what the hell is that?
You're swiping bills.
He's making it
You're like
rain.
swiping bills, man. See,
He's rubbing
there are
lotion on
so
his
many
hands.
bills in my hands. My hands cannot touch. That's how many bills I'm swiping right now.
Ah.
Okay. I think maybe you should have just clarified that in case someone thought, what the hell is he doing here?
Well, no, it's all good.
It's okay.
Thanks for that, Justin.
Yes. Now in the past 2 or 3 videos, I have some very embarrassing gifs that can come out of this podcast.
Which is perfect.
You're just-
We'll compile them someday and make fun of you.
Oh, great.
Or you can do it.
I'm not gonna make fun of myself. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
It means you're confident.
Basically, I will then sue you for basically damaging my image.
Oh, fuck that. Free speech.
You can do that. It's you. I don't know about Canadian law actually. I think probably U.S. law.
True. Oh.
All right.
Anyway, I think
So-
we're all done for the Steam thing, right?
Yeah, so let's wrap this up, guys. Thank you to our little unicorns. I don't know if the last time you watched this, your eyes, but we're calling our fans little unicorns now because they're just as
Yeah.
rare.
Because there's 2 of them or something.
There's 2 or 3,
I
and
don't
somebody's
think,
mom probably.
I don't think they would appreciate that. Being called unicorns.
They're precious to us.
All right, you just lost your two viewers.
Damn
Whoever
it! Not again.
Again.
Ugh, this happens to us every other podcast. We would gain a few subscribers, then we scare them all off. Damn it! All right.
That's okay.
So so basically to kind of wrap this up, guys, thank you for watching this far. If you have watched this entire video, God bless you. You're an amazing person. To basically show off the website, I basically got the 1+1 lead recently.
Ooh.
Not many people can buy it right now. I actually can physically show it to you guys right here to prove it to you that this is
Oh,
not
look at this
Photoshop or
guy
anything.
with his
Ooh, exclusive
1+1.
invite that my friend gave me.
You and your folio cases.
Yeah, it's so nice. But anyways, I have a review of that. It's actually won't say it's like the best phone ever, but it's definitely the best of its value. That's a quick summary of my review. Yeah, you can find more of it on the Casual Nerdcast. We plan on releasing other articles, videos, etc. So keep posted on that. And as usual, if you have anything you want us to discuss, topics, anything interesting, you can post it on our Twitter, Facebook, etc. We will answer anything, unless it's inappropriate. Then we won't answer it.
We'll think about it.
We'll consider it. We'll have a debate, a democratic debate.
And then the debate will be a no, but Evan's going to answer it anyway because he has no filter, and that's awesome.
All right,
Yeah, sometimes that man.
that man.
If I didn't love him so much, I'd slap him across the face every other day. Yes.
All right,
We're
so thank you for watching, guys, and have a good /morning /afternoon /evening /midnight whatever the time is between 1 a.m. and 6 a.m. early morning.
Time to whine.
If you're watching this at Christmas, Merry Christmas, or
Sounds
Happy
good.
Birthday, Happy Halloween, Happy Easter.
I think we're at -8 subscribers. Time to go to sleep.
Farewell, guys.